Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for the 6th place playoff game or the 5th place playoff. Someone will be getting 6, someone will be getting 5 for this contest. Kenya versus Argentina. Kenya have been very strong throughout this competition. It's great to see them getting a chance here. And Argentina, they'll be narrowly missing out on the medals as they were working hard in that game up against Samoa. But in the end, in extra time, were defeated. But looking through at the Kenyan starting lineup, it will be Otieno, Onyala, Odiambo, Omondi, Oyo, Oliech, and Mbaka as the last man in that starting side. Then for Argentina, Jermaine Schultz still out there, Rodrigo Isgro, then Fraga gets the start, Usachuk, and then Lizazo, Tobias Wade, and Lavayen. So this is the first of 3 matches that we are going to be covering on the channel. We have got the suit on, as there is a massive one coming up later on when we will find out who will be the World Sevens 2022 champions. But Kenya, they have been impressive, like I mentioned. I think we are going to see a dangerous side here. Argentina, will come in as the favourites. I can't speak anymore. I'm too excited. We're up to the final session of the LA Sevens. So this is going to be absolutely awesome. I think Omondi's going to score the first try if I had to predict for a Kenyan. And then if I had to predict for an Argentine, I'll go number 3. And that is Jermaine Schultz. No Gaston Ravo in the starting lineup. No De La Vega. And also no Luciano Gonzalez getting to start this match, which is an interesting choice for the Argentines. I hope they aren't underestimating the Kenyans, because that is the last thing you want to do in a game up against Kenya. But we are underway now for the 5th place playoff game. Will be Oliech does kick us off for the Kenyans. That will not go 10. Argentina, let it just go out, and they will have the quick tap now from halfway. Just a little bit of a mistake from Oliech, which will be disappointing for him, as we have seen quite a few kickoffs throughout this competition not quite go the 10 meters that they do require. But the sunshine is still absolutely blaring there in LA. I noticed that the shadow is halfway across the field, which might be something to look at later on in the game. Depending on whereabouts that sun is, may depend on whereabouts the balls are being kicked high for the kickoffs. Argentina now, though, have got themselves the ball. It will be Lizazo. Goes across Jermaine Schultz, trying to get involved with the referee there by the looks of it. He almost made the tackle on him. Now off the back, De La Vega for a bit of space. It's going to be a nice fend there from number 9, Usachuk. It's just managed to keep the ball in the field of play. Another offload. Oliech able to make the tackle on Schultz. Ball loose. Kenya able to pick it up, and now it will be Odiambo. Nice spin there. And it seems like Onyala, it will be the foot race. He's going to get caught on the halfway line, though. Very brilliantly done by Tobias Wade to drag him down. Mondi now goes back across to the left-hand side. Odiambo. One more to Oliech. Looking forward to seeing Otieno, or in fact, it was Otieno, sorry, did have that ball, and it's a knock-on from Kenya. Scrum feed goes the way of the Pumas. As you can hear, my voice is really struggling at the moment. We have done commentary for not just today, but also yesterday and the day before, rugby championship and all sorts. And I think that is why the voice has sounded better in the past, but hopefully it does stick around for the next 2 matches that we have got. At Samoa versus Australia, that is the game just around the corner. And then the game after that one will be the big final, Fiji versus New Zealand. So the stipulations of the competition currently, unfortunately, Argentina going into this league, they could still become the Sevens champions, but they needed to win all their games and win pretty much the whole competition. Currently, if New Zealand managed to beat Fiji and also Australia are beaten by Samoa, it will mean South Africa do get themselves the title. If South Africa, I think they finished 13th, didn't they? So pretty much that's where they are locked in. But Fiji, if they win the final and Australia finish last, it means that Fiji win the title. And then also if Australia even just place, which means beating Samoa, they will get the World Sevens title. Argentina now with the line-out throw, 45 meters out from the Kenyan line. It's been quite an even battle so far. We haven't really seen too much Argentine attack. So this might be a good opportunity for them. Schultz going back across now, 50 meters out. It's a great run down into the shade. Now good striding run down the wing by, I believe it was number 2. Who's number 2? There he is. Thomas Lizazo, and I'm going to need to find number 9. which in this one is Chuk, and he has been able to score the try. He's saying he hasn't dotted it down. He wanted to put it between the posts, saying he kept the ball held up. That will be the first try of the match for Argentina. They might have to check this one to see whether or not Chuk did manage to get that one down in the end. It was Odiambo, just went for a little bit too risky of an offload. It was cleaned up by Argentina. And yeah, he didn't put it down. So the referee, he was saying it was a try. He was waving his finger at the ref saying, no, that one isn't down just yet. Let me run it round. He's saying, no, still didn't put it down. So that will be an interesting one because that kick is missed, which is a bit unfortunate because if it was put down where it was, which was straight out underneath the posts, probably would have been a kick over. So remember that later on in the game, but currently 5-0 in favor of Argentina. Swatting it back. It's nicely done. Now Chuk, he's going to score another one. Does he make sure the ref sees where he puts that one down? Straight between the posts that time, and it's another try for the Pumas. 3 minutes still left on the clock here. But yeah, Luciano Gonzalez, a player who has been left out. I assume that is due to either injury or just resting him for this contest, making sure he is fresh heading into Cape Town. Chuk, he knocked it back. And then not just that, he got the bounce of the ball. It sat up for him, and he was able to run it in for another try. I believe that is now his 6th try. So he will be leading try scorer or tied with leading try scorer Pelo Maleko at the moment. That is dependent on how many tries Epe was able to get in that French game, though, because I know that he was also player on 5. There we go. It has just shown it. And he is tied tournament try scorer with Pelo Maleko, who will be hoping to be number 1 by the end of the round. So he will need one up against the Australians. So this is going to be kicked off now by Argentina. Just out from the 22. Oliech going to be staying on his feet for now, but now drops downwards, 22 out. And Kenya looking to fire back straight away. Odiambo wrestled to the ground. A lot of pressure being put on by Lazazo on both Onyala and Odiambo. Now Odiambo plays half. Gives it off to the big man Otieno. He's extremely hard to put down. I do see that Rossetto's already out onto the field for Argentina. Oliech finds the nice offload. Kenya now finding it out to Onyala. This will be a foot race. Once again, great ankle tap made by Lavayen. Now Omondi goes across to Otieno. Skip pass. This should be a try for Otieno as long as he just pins the ears back and goes for the corner. He's bumped off one, but he's dragged down by Rodrigo Iskro 8 meters out, I should say. Counter ruck from the Pumas, but still just on the side of Kenya. Oliech, it's gone up. Onyala has to clean up for them. Jermaine Schultz takes him down, and another counter ruck from Argentina, but it becomes a penalty in favor of the Kenyans. 40 seconds left in this first half of this contest. Whoever wins finishes in 5th. The loser will be 6th, so not too bad. Overall, you'd have to say, for either of these sides, definitely building momentum into Cape Town. It's more about looking towards the future, and that is Cape Town. 9th of September is when that competition is starting. We will be covering that one on the channel as well. It was a great ankle tap in the end from Lavayen, I believe it was, who initially did that ankle tap, but 13 seconds left, and now 22 meters out. They have taken that quick tap. Otieno tries to break through. They've been able to shut him down relatively well, going low around the ankles, not allowing him to have that creative control. Going to be a penalty for not rolling away against Argentina there. Otieno takes the quick tap, going off to the right-hand side now. Oyo gets the break. Nice tackle made on him. Currently just after halftime on the clock. Kenya want to get one try before they get to the end of the first 7 minutes. Oyo goes hard at the line. Schultz has been able to stop him. He's put him down. He's gone for a bit of a counter ruck. He has managed to just stay on his feet, they have said, but it's another advantage in favour of Kenya. Now finding the offload. No, Onyala wasn't able to get it in the end. If he got it to Omondi, it would have been try every day of the week. Oyo now goes off. Great shot on Mbaka. And now we'll be going back for another penalty in favour of the Kenyans, taking the quick tap for Omondi. And I think Argentina are complaining there. They were saying, did he tap it? The referee says, yes, he tapped it while it was actually in the breakdown. And that is going to be the try for Kenya. That moves them up to 5 points. I believe it will be a nice, easy kick. So that will give them a 7 heading into... Yeah, he took the tap while it was in the breakdown. Very sneaky tactic, I guess you could say, but it's effective as the Kenyans have been able to score themselves another try there. Now that one has been kicked over. Halftime is upon us now. Should mention that the next match that is taking place, it is going to be the final between Australia and Samoa. That is the third place playoff game, and that will be kicking off at 11:55. Then alongside that, the final between New Zealand and Fiji. That is at 12:28 p.m. And we will be covering both of those games on the channel, plus a post-match review of the final as well. So be sure, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Carry so far, we've seen 19 from the Kenyans, 9 for Argentina. More passes completed by Kenya and visits to opposition 22. Very even with the 2 apiece. 15 tackles made by Argentina compared to 3 of Kenya, although Kenya have missed the 2 tackles. They have had 3 line breaks, though. So you'd have to say Kenya, even though they are behind on the sheet, they should theoretically be able to get straight back into this match if they continue playing like they did in that first half. The Pumas coach, he will be fired up. We actually heard a word from Legal, the French player, just earlier on before this match got underway. He was talking about how they were pretty happy with 9th, 3 wins, 3 losses, heading forward into the Cape Town Sevens. Like I mentioned, 9th of September, not too far away at all. In fact, just under a week and a half, I think. A little bit close. That's going to be exciting, though. We are covering that on the channel, like I mentioned, and it goes through from the 9th of September through to the 11th of September. There are 40 of the best men and women's sides combined playing off for supremacy. That's a lot of cotton candy in the stand there. That is pretty much all sugar, but I'm sure people will be absolutely eating it up at the LA Sevens. Time till kickoff, 16 minutes and 16 seconds till we get to see Australia take on Samoa for the bronze medal. In the cup final, though, New Zealand versus Fiji. That game is just under an hour away. I cannot wait to see who manages to take that out. Like I mentioned, there's a lot on the line for Fiji and Australia in those upcoming games. Samoa and New Zealand as well. Oh, Ledge has been taken out in the air. Now, the ruling is, they have mentioned about it, if you take a man out in the air, you do end up with a yellow card. He wants to help the man up, check in on him to see if Rodrigo Izquierdo is going to be okay. Challenge in the air, I'm going to check. This could actually turn from a yellow to a red card here for Rodrigo Izquierdo. So he went up late. He doesn't even get anywhere near the ball. Okay, they're saying it could even be a red card here for Rodrigo Izquierdo. This would be an absolute game changer for the Argentines. Now, the player has stayed down in Olich. Dangerous challenge in the air. Yellow card is what they have ruled it. So 2 minutes off the field for Rodrigo Izquierdo, which now means the Kenyan player can get up off the ground as it has been effective. Okay. Jermaine Schultz was a bit confused there because the referee was holding up the yellow card in his direction. And he was like, wait, me? I didn't even do anything. But Rodrigo Izquierdo, he's off the field for the next 2 minutes. Probably almost halfway in between a yellow and a red for that one, you'd have to say, because he did go straight into the body, didn't get a lot of contact at all. When you're ready, I'll call time on, says the referee. There's 7 minutes left of this match between Kenya and Argentina, and now Jermaine Schultz has got 2 minutes that he will be spending off the field. Otieno gets involved, gives it off Odiambo, and Oyos put it down on the wing. Disappointing from the Kenyan winger. I think he might have looked up to see who was in front of him. He did see that it was Augustin Fraga. Here's Grow. Now, they have actually got a 3-minute yellow card clock there, but I assume it is still only 2 minutes for his yellow cards, unless there's something to do with maybe if he's had more than a few yellow cards in the past. I don't think so. I think it is just that they've got a slight error on their clock. Now, scrum feed for the Pumas, actually one of the first scrums we've seen of the day. Kenya are very strong when it comes to that big push, but Argentina handling it nicely. Now, Schultz with the Fenn running sideways. In fact, that's not going to be Schultz. That is instead the number 10, Tobias Wade, with some nice stepping, trying to break through, but he's been tackled by Oyo, who's got the clean turnover. Or did he? No. They've said that he was falling down and it wasn't a clear release. Unlucky for him, and also error red card. And there says, probably very lucky to not end up with the red off that one. He did take him out in the air, and the difference between that one and some of the yellow cards that we've seen is the fact that normally with the yellow card, the player has got relatively close to the ball. That one was just into the Kenyan player. Some subs about to be made, but it is going to be Lavien. We'll be throwing this one in for Argentina, only 5 meters out from the Kenyan line now. Bush Moale making his way out onto the park. Right, I think we're going to see some sort of set play here from Argentina. With the fact that they've got a man disadvantage, they might as well use up a little bit more of the time, which is what they're doing now. They can't use up too much, though, or else you do end up with a free kick against you. Nicely taken by Schultz. Sold the dummy as if he was going to pass it back and instead decided to run himself. Now across, little grubber attempt from Argentina. There's a knock-on from Mbaka, which is a massive reprieve from Argentina, because that kick was a mistake. It didn't make its way through. Could have been a turnover for Kenya. But now, making his way back out onto the field here, just going to be Rodrigo Izgro. So he will be happy to be back out there with the Argentines. They have still got themselves a 5-point lead with a chance of extending if they can get this one right. Should mention that France, they managed to get themselves 9th. South Africa, 13th. And then also this one will be deciding who finishes 5th on the world circuit. Or not quite the world circuit. More than likely Argentina, though. They have got themselves quite nicely up there. That's going to be the try in the corner for the number 2. It is going to be Thomas Lizazu. He's been able to go and get the try. The ball ended up bouncing awkwardly as soon as he put it down, so he has to go and get it. Now it will be a kicking opportunity for the Argentines. They were able to sling it wide. The Kenyan defense wasn't quite wide enough, though, to be able to handle that one. And Lizazu goes in and gets it. Oh, it was actually, okay, it bounced up awkwardly and went flying because it was actually the Kenyan foot that ended up hitting it and flinging it way across. But the kicking attempt now, he's got a decent strike of it. It's hit the post and it's gone over. Man, we've seen some woodwork hit today and also yesterday in the sevens. We've seen a lot of ones hit in the post, but that is going to be now 19 points to 7 in favor of Argentina. So a little bit of time left. That says it's 14 minutes through. We are actually a little bit earlier than that. Only 11 minutes in. Why in the soup, bro? Says Guy, because for the later game today, we are going to end up seeing exactly who is crowned 2022 World Sevens Series champion. So that is why we decided to dress in the suit. We normally do it for the big matches, and there aren't many matches bigger than New Zealand versus Fiji. Now, just out from their own 22 here, Kenya going for the attack. Oyo looking to use it on the right-hand side. If Kenya want a chance of winning, they need to score pretty much right now. Just the number 8 off the bench, Wakesa, but it's going to be the penalty to the Pumas. Taking the quick tap, not rolling away as the call against the referee. And now Rodrigo Izgro, one more pass on the outside. This will be in the corner again. And it is the same man who scored just before Thomas. Lizazo gets another. And now this game, you'd have to say, is pretty much done and dusted. Be Argentina will be able to get themselves a victory. Still 3 minutes left on the clock. I'd like to think that Kenya would have a decent crack of still being able to get some sort of points in that time. Slamming that ball down, though. For Lizaza, I've been thinking of going to the women's FPC semi-final between Waikato and Auckland on Sunday. Free entry. Says Nov Mum. I mean, if it's free entry, I would say go for it. Definitely if you are in the same region as it is taking place. There's actually a game coming up, provincial rugby, or not quite provincial, next level down from provincial, which is South Canterbury. They are going to be taking on, I think they're taking on Thames Valley, and they're actually going to be playing at the local rugby ground, the place where I have filmed a few videos in the past. And yeah, we are actually hopefully going to be able to go to that game as well. I believe it's going to be a Saturday afternoon fixture in about 25 days. We kicked off, 2 minutes to play now. And this match, Kenya taking it nicely with Wakesa forced backwards in the breakdown, but Kenya doing well to hang on to that ball. Not a lot of space on this near side for Bush Moale. And now it's another penalty. That is for not rolling away against the Argentine number 12, Rossetto. He was actually out there on the park relatively early. I think maybe after about 3 or 4 minutes, they decided to go to him. And maybe just trying to make sure that all of the players are still feeling fresh at the end of this competition. Now, 22 meters out from the line here, Kenya Oliech goes across. Good shot there. And does force the Kenyan backwards into the 22. Not a lot of space for Bush Moale to work with. He hasn't really had much of an opportunity. Oh, the Argentine player let him go. That was an interesting choice because it then meant that he got an extra couple of meters. Now, looks like Argentina almost able to hold up a launch. Now, nice pass across. Kenya slowly building towards the halfway, hoping Wellington beat Canterbury. Waikato beat Auckland, so Waikato have a home final, says Novam. That's a good way of looking at it. So hopefully they are able to get the jobs done. Do they come in as favourites up against Auckland? Because I know that Auckland and the women's rugby aren't as strong as the men's rugby, and they're kind of around that mid-table, aren't they, for the Auckland women's side? It's going to be another penalty against Kenya. So in the second half, we have seen them penalised 3 times compared to Argentina's 2, and I think that has been costing them quite dearly. Looks like there are going to be some subs made by Argentina as well. 17 seconds on the clock. I think we'll get one last attack from Argentina. Maybe Kenya, if they get the ball back, might consider going for an attack of their own. All right, so you got to take your penalty within 15 seconds. They have just said, so you've got 17 seconds on the clock if you're Argentina, and that one has been kicked into touch. Now 14 left on the clock. You might as well go for the attack if you're Argentina. You're 5 meters out from Kenya's line. Yes, the timer will probably be done. I'm not sure, can't see anything on the TAB website. Says Novmum there. So I guess they'll update it closer to next weekend. I was a bit sad that I did miss doing the commentary for New Zealand women's and also the Australia women's game. Did take place. It's going to be nicely taken by Argentina. I think they were almost going to call it not straight. Rodrigo Isro now looking for his offload. No, instead just takes it to ground. Smart move. Now Schultz. One more pass on the outside. It could be a hat-trick for the youngster. No, instead it will be the number 13, Sabato, who does get over the line, and that is another try for Argentina. So relatively one-sided affair between the Pumas and the Kenyans for this one. But now we are only a few minutes away from our next game getting underway. That will be the matchup between Argentina, Australia and Samoa. If you are new to the channel, anyone, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It is usually appreciated. You guys will be in here for these finals fixtures. Nonetheless, I guess that will be the end of this live stream. We are just waiting to see this kick, whether or not it does end up going over for the Argentines, sitting on 29 points. This current point in time, can they make it 31? Getting some slow motion shots of them celebrating. Still celebrating. I don't think the kick went over, and Go Samoa says, no, Mum, they're not actually going to show us that kick. A full time 29 points to 7 in favour of the Pumas. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We are jumping straight over to our next live stream. Hopefully, we will get to see you guys there. But thank you all very much for being here, and I will see you all for